மேம் சார் டின்னர் கொடுத்துடலாமா ஒரு வாட்டி இப்படியே வரும் பாருங்க டின்னர் கொடுத்துருவேன் ம் சார் இந்த ஸ்க்ரீன் சார் ஒயிட் ஸ்க்ரீன் டின்னர் இல்லை சார் வரோம் இப்படி கரெக்டாக இருக்குது நீங்கள் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணுவீங்க நீங்கள் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணுங்க இங்கே வராது அதான் அங்கே அலோவ் பண்ணுங்க மெசேஜில் அங்கே அலோவ் பண்ணுங்க சார் ம் சரி போயிட்டுருக்கோம் ஹலோ சார் 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 ஓகே சார் ஓகே சார் ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಹಾಂ ಸರ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ 5 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಸರ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಉಂಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜೆ ಪಿ ಇವರು ಮತ್ತು ಸಿ ಜೆ ಪಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಜೆ ಪಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ರವಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್ ಹಾಂ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಹಾಂ ಸರ್ ಹಾಂ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಕಾಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ ಹಾಂ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ சார் ஸ்டாக் ஆப்ஷன் மீட்டிங் எல்லாரும் வந்துட்டு இருக்காங்க சார் அட்மிட் பண்ணுங்க அட்மிட் பண்ணுங்க ஓகே ஓகே வியூவர் லெட்டர் ஓகே நிறைய பேர் வந்துருக்காங்க டக்கு டக்குன்னு சார் டாக்டர் அபிஷேக்
Good evening, dear participants.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
evening,
So,
sir. Good evening, sir.
it's good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Sir. So, we will start the event by 5 o'clock, still 9 minutes more. Make sure that if you're not able to join again, kindly join the YouTube live, and we have started streaming YouTube also. So, if you're having any difficulty in joining in Google Meet, kindly requesting all the participants to come to YouTube link. Thank you.
So we are already 69. Till 90 we can be only one. 69 already. After 90 only you accept, huh? Yes, sir. போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. சார் யூஆல் அட்மிட் ஆகி கொடுத்துட்டோமா? 96 சார் 97. எல்லாம் சார் 101 ரீச் ஆல்ரெடி. 101 ரீச் ஆல்ரெடி. ஸோ யாரும் மீட்டிங் ஆல்ரெடி 101 ரீச் ஆயிடுச்சு சார். யார் வந்தாலும் கூட எதாவது பண்ணுவாங்க சார். எவ்வளோ வந்தாலும் దారిలో ప్లేస్ ఇది అలాగే ఫుల్ ఫినాన్స్. సో మామూలుగా మీరు పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ అప్లై దారిలో జాయిన్ అవ్వడం shall we start now? సో ಶಿವಗಂಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ನು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿಟ್ಟಲ್ಲ ಎಬ್ದಲ್ಲ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಎದುರು பார்க்கணும் ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಎದುರು பார்க்கலாம் ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚಾನಲ್ பார்க்கணும் ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಶೋ 21 ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು 21 ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ 21 ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ 24 ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಓಕೆ ದಿಸ್ ಸೊ
Good evening, dear participants. Myself, Professor Bennett from the Department of Sociology, Research Coordinator from St. Francis Xavier's College, Abhagudi, Bangalore. We are very happy to start this one-day international webinar on how to detect fake and cloned journals in UGC Care as well as Scopus as well as Web of Science. Without taking much time, let me go to the program. Prayer is a part and part of every human life. Now, let me invite Desalite Diana Mary to pray.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Diana, can you requesting you to unmute?
Yes.
She's having some technical issues. Okay, she's having some technical issues. Let's pray the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Now let me invite Dr. Nebula Mukesh, HOD, to invite the gathering, to welcome the gathering. Why Nebula ma'am's voice is not audible?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Good evening, madam.
So it's my, yes, thank you. So, first of all, thanks to all of you from Research Cell for being part of this event. Due to some connectivity issue, I was out of the meeting. So, good evening, and thank you, Bennett sir, for inviting me for the welcome speech. So, respected dignitaries present online, it's my pleasure to invite you all to this session on behalf of Research Cell St. Francis de Sales College
Okay, she's having some technical issues. Let's pray.
on detecting the fake and cloned journals. So let me extend a warm welcome to Dr. Abhishek Sharma, our speaker for the day, who is here to enrich us with his experience and expertise. Welcome, sir, for accepting our invite and here as our speaker.
It is a pleasure, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, dignitaries, Research Cell, Dr. Nebula, and everyone that has joined this important topic on this online meeting: how to detect the cloned and fake journals and proceed to our career in a better way.
Yes.
The topic becomes very important
Yes.
for those who seeks betterment and grooming and for quality research paper and quality research for their research work and whatever they are doing in their life with all these journals. So, hello everyone. Now, without wasting much time, I will be just jump on this topic, this very important topic, because nowadays there are so many journals that it is very hard to find what is a good journal, what is a better journal, and what is a fake journal, and what is a correct journal. We all know what a journal is. Whenever a research is done and whenever it is published in a journal, we had to accept it. Even if it says the sun will rise in west, it will rise in west according to that journal. So this is the importance that a journal carries with it. So you have completed your research and you have written your paper. Now you want to publish your results. It is as simple as that. And are in search of a good journal, which is not fake, which is not a clone one. Now, what is a fake journal? If we start with this, just a moment, I need to share my PPT.
Yeah, sir, now you can share the screen, sir. We can stop sharing the screen. You can share the screen now.
Yes.
So, one small announcement, dear participants, kindly mute your audios and kindly give your names as well as your designation in the chat box to take attendance. Those who are joining through online mode, that is YouTube Live, kindly give your name as well as your affiliation in the chat box. Thank you.
Is it visible? Is it visible or not?
No, sir, it's not
Sir,
visible, sir.
sir, you're not visible, sir. Yes, sir, now you're visible, sir.
Okay, thanks, sir. Okay, so what are fake journals? Now, there was a person named Jeffrey Bell who has described the journals as an organization that publish counterfeit journals to exploit the open access model in which the author pays. So the author takes the responsibility, each and everything, that he has found out a journal and he has chosen that particular journal for his research work or her research work. These predatory publishers are dishonest and they lack transparency, which had to be found out very after a very thorough research by the author himself or herself. What they do, they aim to dupe researchers, especially those who are inexperienced in scholarly communication. So here the point is there, you had to be very brief, your spectrum had to be very broad, but you had to focus on that particular thing, that you are going to publish your research work, you are going to publish your result in a good journal, not a fake journal. So Bill, what did he did? He also hosted a list of publishers he believed to be predatory on his blog, which is available online from 2012 to 2017. These predatory journals, they have a main aim of getting profit from everywhere. They attempt to, deceive the authors to publish for a fee without providing a robust peer review or editorial services. And what happens thereby, it putting profit over trustworthy and dependable science. So they just want profit and just profit. So for many, career progressions depends on publishing. So one may look for journals that promise to publish all submissions without any peer review, without any editorial comments, or the author's objections also. So, however, there is a variation in an author's dependable versus unfamiliar journal, and this is how these fake and clone journals are able to persist. So they take an advantage. The purpose of these fake and clone journals are just to have profit in by all means. Now, moving on to next slide. What are the features of fake and clone journals? How can you recognize? So, the fake and clone journals want profit. And regarding the keen interest of the researchers for publishing, their results in recent years have boomed and flourished day by day. And they use special techniques in order to delegitimize and cheat the researchers or academician or a faculty member or a researcher also in this field. The fake publishers or journals generally have certain features. So what they do, number one, they publish the papers without any revision or peer revision process. So once we select a journal, the journal will ask you to upload a paper, their manuscript. That manuscript will be provided with a manuscript ID, and that manuscript ID will be circulated among the selected reviewers. Those reviewers will review the paper by each and every means, checking the grammar, the spelling mistakes, the content, the objectivity, the originality, and the abstract, the topic, how much novel it is, how much useful it is for that particular journal, and then the research methods they have applied, the author has applied, and etc. So after that review has been done, the reviewer will be providing his or her comments over that paper, whether to submit the article without any kind of modification or to submit an article, that manuscript for publishing without certain changes here and there, or a major modification has to be done. So yeah, whether the journal will be either stopping that manuscript for publishing, or it will be accepted as it is. The second is they have weak websites with a simple submission format. So simple submission format means that if the journal is saying that publish it, they submit that particular manuscript through that particular email ID. It is as simple as that, without any kind of the manuscript ID is being not being provided, or the journal is not asking you to go through a certain channel, certain step by step process for the submission of that particular abstract or a paper. These journals have no specific scientific scope, and they work in a multidisciplinary way. So they are not bound to a particular focus or aim. They will accept everything, they will publish everything without any kind of review process, and the review process becomes very important when it comes to publish a journal, because a journal itself means that whatever is written has to be accepted universally without any kind of objection. The fourth is the period between submitting and publishing the paper is very short. The journal will promise his his sender that we will publish your journal within say 4 days, 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, a fortnight, without any process, without any review process, without any kind of ID given, without any kind of proper channel. It is as simple as that. So here, a fake and clone journal could be recognized very easily. These journals, they never mention the requested fee in order to publish the paper on their sites, and they notify the authors privately in a separate letter. So, since we know that nowadays the APCs, that is article publishing charges, are very high, especially in Scopus and Web of Science and UGC Care and ABC Index. So everyone seek a journal with a lowest fee or a low fee, So we first of all we go to that website of that journal, and we select the charges for publishing. There are certain journals which will not reveal their charging rupees and the charges for publishing, and they will ask you to send us an email, and we will reply on that particular email to publish that article. I think am I audible to everyone? Just checking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you. So that particular journal will be sending in private email that these are these charges for that particular publishing, for publishing and manuscript, and you can send us either through GPay mode or through account mode, anything. So here we had to be very careful that the if that payment is done, the payment is lost, and moreover, your manuscript has been published in a fake and cloned journals. And the most attractive thing is that they will attach themselves to Europe and the West. And we are very much being attracted to these kind of domains, these areas of, the globe. They publish repetitive papers or even papers from other journals by changing, the title with other synonyms, or they will publish the paper with the same manuscript with some other title. The broad advertisement plan in the form of spam emails. They will regularly be sending your emails to publish your paper within that particular period, and that too maybe without charges, or the charges will be shared in personal. So the names of such commonly contains they say journals commonly contain grand adjectives, for example, world or international and global like terms. So this is how you have to recognize your features, the fake journals. Now, what they do with their advertisement techniques, how they advertise their journals to reach everywhere to everyone. This type of journal may send spam emails to very large number of unaware internet users and researchers who are regularly searching for a good journal without or with a low article publishing charges, that is APC. So if the fake journals use the name of a well-known journal and make up its site, then most of the advertisements include certain cases, and that the number one is the name and its impact factor. We are very much attracted to that impact factor, but we had to be very much careful in selecting that impact factor. So in this type of email, what is the impact factor of that original journal from where that name and impact factor has been copied or has been camouflaged of that original journal is already mentioned over there. Secondly, they will be notifying a limited period of time between the submission and peer review process, which is totally wrong, because until and unless the reviewer is able to accept that manuscript for the review process and send his or her acceptance to willfully accept that paper to for a review, only then the review process will start. So it totally depends upon the reviewer how much time it is he or she is going to take to review a certain paper. Generally, it displays that it will be less than a month. These journals will be presenting the ISSN number of the original journal, the website's address of the fake journal. So when you are searching for that particular journal, when you are doing your research for that journal by typing their website, all things either will be copied or all things will be fake. The notifying they will be what they will do, they will be notifying that the journal is a multidisciplinary one, and we people become very happy. Okay, every domain of our research is accepted over here. Then we go for the journal address and the journal index. So recently, what has been the process that many journals have been made up using these techniques, and by means of these fake websites, they accept, print, and publish the researchers' articles by receiving an amount of money, which is disclosed. Please make it very carefully that which is disclosed by the personal emails, not publicly. Now, the journals Now they give the assurance of journal's precision. So to make sure of the journal's precision, the researcher and students must pay careful attention to certain terms during the submission process. The first is sending the paper to journals that are recommended by an expert in the field. So you have to be very careful where you are sending your research work because it should not be disclosed to everyone and everywhere. Sending the paper to the journals that have a special scope, avoiding sending the papers to the multidisciplinary journals. Select the journal whatever your research areas are, whatever your research domain is, whether it is of a law or management or business or English or psychology or sociology or anything. So you have to be very careful. Go for this research process, go for this search process, and select that proper journal. Then sending the articles to the well-known publishers such as Elsewhere, Springer, Taylor's, and Francis, etc. Because these are the names which have an image that they will be publishing only those manuscript which have undergone through a certain review process under certain proper channel with a particular manuscript id which is a unique one. You will not find that particular manuscript id anywhere on any journal website. Then searching the name and the date of index of a paper accidentally in some well-known database such as ScienceDirect, PubMed, etc. So your research work has been notified and it will be provided with a DOI, which is also a unique one. The next is searching the information of the journals in Thomson Reuters website and making sure of the existence of the website and its electronic publication. So it is an example, one of the example that if we are choosing a Thomson Reuters website, so we had to check this website very closely, each and everything, each and every particular, each and every listed things, and then go for that particular electronic publication. Then the last is that confirming the uniformity of the website address of the journal, which is mentioned in the advertisement emails and the address that is accessible on the well-known databases, not that the website has been opened or is opening up anywhere on any system. Because certain journals have websites which have a limited open accessibility. Now, the most important point for which this topic has been discussed that how to find out that the journal is a fake and cloned one. There have been 6 ways that have been discussed very regularly. The first is a most important that is check the website very thoroughly. What happens often that a tail sign of a predator journal is a mistake in both spelling and grammar on their website. So if anything has been copied, it will be copied with a change of spelling or the grammar. Poor use of language shows a low professional standard. So they will be using not that quality language for their website. The journal's fees should be clearly stated. It should be, publicly disclosed. It should not be sent through spam emails or impersonal emails or messages. On the web, the fee should be clearly stated on the website and should only be requested from the author after that article has been accepted for publication. After the review process, not that you have submitted your article by morning and by next morning it is saying please send the payment, your paper has been accepted and you will be getting an e-certificate and everything and etc etc. So it should be a proper time bound process. If a journal requests a submission fee before the article is accepted, this may be a fake or a cloned or a predatory journal. The next is whether the journal is a member of DOAJ, COPE, STM, or OASPA. DOAJ stands for Directory of Open Access Journal. The COPE stands for Committee on Publication Ethics. STM stands for Association of Scientific, Technical, and Medical Publishers, and OASP stands for Open Access Scholarly publishers associations. So we had to be very careful. We had to see and we had to list out that whatever journal we are choosing for our research work or for our results, whether those journals are the member of these listed associations. We had to check their membership on the relevant website. These associations are all reputable organizations that vet their members for adherence to publishing standards. They have their own publishing standard which they follow every time. And if in doubt, send an email to that particular organization. If the researcher found something haphazard, and if there's something is wrong there, then he or she can easily send an email to that particular association or an organization, and they should be able to confirm or deny membership, not that we are in member of this type of association. The next is we had to check journals contact information. This is the point which we overlook, I think, every time. Now, it is important to ensure that there is a verifiable contact information that matches the advertised nationality of the journals, where the journal belongs to, what are its listing organizations, what are listed associations, how many editorial board members are there, what are the name of the reviewers, from where the reviewers belongs to. So each and everything should be checked upon. Often, what happens that these predatory journals state their offices are in one country, but whereas the contact details will be another. So this is what happens. We had to check the timestamps of incoming emails, whether they are during hours, working hours of the country of origin, to ensure the phone number has the correct country code. And if they provide an address, search for it. If they say that we have particular address, we have particular official address, we belong to certain country, we belong to certain nation, certain area of that particular nation, then we can very well check for those address information. The next comes research the editorial board. Who are the members? What are the designation of those members, from where they belong to, whether they are presently working or not. So one way to look credible is to list experts in the fields as member of the editorial board. It is an honorable thing, and it is an honor to be an editorial part of an editorial board of any good journal. So often what happens, these predatory journals will create fake scholars, or they will list scholars without their permission. So one way to know for sure is to check the professional online profiles of those named individuals that had been put in the list by the fake and clone journals. Through their how to check, it is done through their listed institution page, LinkedIn, or ResearchGate. So a point comes here that if the journal is a correct one, is a right one, and it is not a fake and clone journal, and it is not a predatory journal, the journal will ask either the editorial board member or the reviewer for their LinkedIn link, or a ResearchGate link, or an ORCID link, or an Scholar ID link, anything. So by clicking that information, we can very well find out whether the particular individual is not a fake one and it is a legal member of that particular reviewer board or an editorial board. So if there is no mention of the journal, then you have to proceed with very caution. The next is the peer review process. We had to take a look at their peer review process and publication timelines. Very important, because this will ensure that the manuscript written and the paper sent has the content well matched and well written over there. Peer review is essential to uphold the quality of any article and journal too. The peer review process is an important stamp. It is a stamp of approval for the publication of academic research. When an article is published in any journal, say a scientific journal, for example, a reader can assume the information published is reliable, credible, and has been evaluated by the editor and at least two independent experts in the field. So, when a review process is done, there is a question whether the reviewer has any amount of interest for that particular paper, and if the reviewer is a correct one, is a legal one, it will show some ethics and it will straightforward say no to that particular question. So a predator journalist, they tend to miss this peer review process out completely. They will not follow and they will publish a paper, say within 5 days or 4 days, or maybe even after a day. So if the journal advertises exceptionally quick peer review timelines, you have to investigate them further and carefully, and please ensure that they state online their peer review policy in full. You can check out their peer review policy, that what is the timeline, what are the review, who are the reviewers, and how, and what are the particular questions they will review, what are the particular points they will look forward in that particular paper submitted. The next is the past issue of that journal. So you can read through that past issue journal. So have been many predatory journals that has published any and all articles that have been submitted to them. Just now we have discussed this point, that if a journal is a correct one, and if it belongs to a particular domain, say law or management or English or Hindi, so they will publish only those articles that have certain use for that journal, and which is not a fake one. We may read through the past issue of the journal and see whether the articles published are true to the journal's advertised specialty areas. That is, that if a cancer journal is publishing articles on the treatment of, say, if we go for a medical journal and it is publishing an article on a rheumatoid arthritis, you can assume their editorial policies are lacking. And if you find articles with many mistakes, this could show their poor review process, because there is a point which a reviewer will check while going through that review process, that whether there have been certain grammatical or spelling mistakes for not being reflected in that plagiarized content. So what the researcher do, they will just change the spelling of that particular word, and it should be reflected in a correct journal by a reviewer. So also, if past issue are missing or listed at coming soon, there have been journals which will put that particular phrase coming soon in a single inverted comma, and this could be a strong sign that the journal is not a legitimate one. So you have to think, check, and submit. So these are the three words. Just keep them in mind, that think, check, and submit is a new campaign which has been led by multiple publishing organizations to try and raise awareness for predatory journals. Its aim is to force authors to think carefully before submitting their research, take a look at every particular point, and then proceed further in that particular or to that particular journal. Now, the next slide says why to avoid fake and clone journals. Naturally, any of the author or a researcher will want that his or her research work should be published in a journal which is not a fake or a clone journal or a predatory one. So there have been many authors first encounter predatory publishers when they receive emails requesting that the authors submit an article to one of their journals. They will be sending a regular emails on regular basis, say after 2 days or 4 days, and they will ask you to submit their work. These emails can be extremely flattering. And they will make promises to publish anything the author submit, or promises review and publication on an unusually fast timeline. That what we have discussed just a second before, that they could submit your they could you can submit their your paper to that website, and they will publish it, say, by tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. Now it may be tempting for authors. The author could be tempted by these kind of policies to submit to these journals, and particularly if they are not aware that it may be a scam, or if they are in a hurry to be published, say, it could be an API matter, or anything. Now, however, submitting articles to predatory journals may have very disastrous consequences, which are listed before. So, the first is that fake peer review undermines the conversation. What it meant? It says that one of the, say, most common forms of publishing practices is for these fake and clone journals, that they claim that they will provide a true peer review process when they do not. So, this practice leads to many problems in the broader context of the progress of that particular manuscript or a paper or a research. Now, articles with certain flawed research or communication issues do not receive these benefit of peer feedback before publication, and can be published with inaccurate information. So again and again, this point has been raised that a proper review process is very important by a proper reviewer too. So articles with low quality, or say deliberately false information, have been being a part of that content and context. Those which those false information which true peer review would likely catch are also sometimes published in these journals. Now, when articles like, say, these are published under the false pretense of having received peer review, it can allow misinformation to enter the broader research community and slow or divert effort away from legitimate lines of investigation. So, a proper investigation, a proper review by a proper reviewer is very important to raise that a standard of conversation and the standard of a journal too. The next is the research becomes harder. Publishing in a low quality journal can make your research harder to find and less likely to be used by others, because everyone is searching for a journal which is, say, not a fake or a clone journal. So once your information, your paper, is submitted and published in a fake or clone journal, you are going to lose your work. No recognition will be given, and the research becomes very much harder to find. Why? Because these fraudulent journals are perceived to be low quality and they are untrustworthy. Please keep in mind that it is untrustworthy. You cannot trust anything on that particular screen. Researchers in your field are less likely to browse those journals or read them on their own. So, therefore, articles containing important research findings may be passed over by a broader scientific community. The third is you could be scammed or your work could be lost. As discussed before, the goal of the fake and clone journal publishers is to convince authors and to pay an APC while performing the least amount of work possible on the publisher sites. So they will not be very much careful for your work. They will not see whether they are publishing an false information or a wrong information. They will just keep in mind that everything you submit to them, it has to be published. So sometimes this includes not actually publishing accepted articles, taking articles or journal website offline without notice, or publishing submitted articles before authors have signed a publishing agreement. So certain journals, certain good journals will not follow the bad practices because a legitimate publisher will not accept the articles that have been published before or submitted to a predatory publisher, and it becomes a very risky step. Even if you say after a careful research you deny to publish your research work for that fake or clone journals because your work has already been sent by use on that for that particular publisher. Now, what are the tools to avoid fake and clone journals? To avoid predatory journals and publishers, there have been many techniques that an author can employ for himself or herself. These can be, say, as simple as looking through journals archives for articles that seems off topic, checking the APCs and review process are clearly stated on the journal website. So, check the articles, check the topic of the article, check the topic of the journal, check whether the publishing charges are publicly written over there, it is not hidden, and the review process and policies and the reviewer names are clearly mentioned on that particular journal website. Then we can check the other things that say grammar and spelling mistakes in solicitation emails. There are also several tools and checklists which are now available. You can go through that and check whether the journal is a fake or a cloned one. So, ending my lecture over here, I will just conclude by saying that if you have your paper ready, if you have your manuscript ready to publish in a particular journal, I would suggest that please, first of all, go through your content, whether you have written ink or include any false information just to skip that plagiarism percentage. Please do not do this. Then check the journal's domain. It should match your topic domain, it should match your research domain, and then go through that particular journal website very thoroughly, check the reviewers, check the policies, check the APCs, check the listing of those journals, and then choose that particular journal for publishing. So, thank you from my side and good luck. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your beautiful presentation. We came to know about various things about like how to identify fake and clone journals, and even now it's a business. Everyone knows that now. Currently, publication is a major business. But apart from that, you have given a clear-cut information regarding how to publish our paper, where to publish, how to identify these kind of people. So really happy for that. And now the group is open for discussion. My dear loving faculty members as well as department members as well as my students, if you're having any doubt regarding this, you can ask your doubts. Now the group is open for discussion.
I hope I'm very much clear. So, it is a simple topic, but an important topic.
Yes, sir, you have questions, sir, from Tirumalai. Yes,
Yes,
sir,
please.
yes, sir, you can ask your doubts.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Sir, you can talk.
Yes, sir. Please go on.
UGC tab is updated every day. Okay, sir. So where I can get the updated list of UGC cabs?
Sir, you are not clear. Please be clear, sir.
Actually, the UGC cab is updated periodically. So where I can get the updated UGC cab list?
Sir, yes, sir, he is asking about where we can get updated UGC careless details. Is it right, sir?
Yes, sir. I got the question.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. See, if you are searching for a proper UGC care listed journals for any of the year, which changes every year, There have been journals which are listed out and which have been included in those UGC care listed or Web of Science listed. Every year the list changes. But if you say if there is a proper website to find out particular a proper list one by one for a particular subject or containing every subject, then it is impossible because it has been researched and it is a point of discussion is still open that why this particular UGC care listed journals are not available online on a particular website. Yes. So if apart from that, if you're searching and you are choosing a journal for any research, I would just suggest you that if your topic is matching the content of the journal, the ethnicity of that journal, or that something means to that particular journal and they are very much interested, then go for the other listings which could be researched. So first of all, it should have a proper reviewers. Once your paper has been reviewed, then it could be published in any of the good journal related to your topic. The second is the APCs. Certain journals have APCs very high, and they will say apart from that rupees, they will ask you in dollars and pounds. But if a journal is good one, it won't be a much hindrance. So go for the APCs, go for the review process, and the next is the policies. What policies they apply? So, in the end, I would say that proper UGC care listed journals, a list is not available anytime on any proper website. I hope I'm clear.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Please
You're
carry on.
audible.
Yes. First of all, I must thank to the organizers because you have fixed such a resourceful person as a resource person. And Georgia from St. Joseph College at Trichy, sir. I have one doubt. I want to know the opinion of the resource person.
Yes, please.
Unknowingly, some fellows have created the WhatsApp group and add our number in that group, and they have posted the advertisement like that. Preparing papers are available in that topic, and these paper will be printed or published in the ABDC journals like that.
Yes,
They
yes,
just
ma'am.
asked. They asked just only the amount.
I am to a part of that list, ma'am. I am to a part of
Yeah.
that book. So if you are joining any WhatsApp group regarding anything, only then your number could be, your number could be visible over there, and then you becomes a part of another WhatsApp group, which
Yeah.
says that particular topic has been open ended, and you can just go for that publishing. So I would say that just deny that offer or ignore that offer unless and until you are very much confident that the topic is not a poor one, the topic is not from the past issue, and the topic is not something which have been copied from other journals. Go for your own research, whether it is simple or complicated, it hardly matters. And see, a research is something you give to the society. A research is done for the society. And since it is done for the society, a common man, if it goes through your research, it should be understood by that particular common man. So anything which is written in research work should be very much simple in grammar and language both. So if you have certain research work, keep it very simple, but keep it very high on standard. Go look for your own research work for your own journal. Don't rely on these WhatsApp groups which offer that you pay something to them and your research work is published. You don't have to write anything. That is, I would keep that thing in the list of fake WhatsApp group. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Please clear.
Suppose, sir, I have selected a journal and I am searching it on the Google. And after Google searching, I got two different website address containing the same journal name.
Mhm.
So, how can I recognize that which address is genuine and which address is fake?
See, if you are getting something or getting a particular thing on n number of sites, and you are in confusion whether which website or which particular site or which particular content is not fake, so first of all, look for the title of the journal, whether any whether any changes have been made to the title of the journal. Secondly, whether the picture content or the image displayed on that particular website of journal varies from the number one website, the number two website, or three, four, five, n number of websites. Thirdly, whether that impact factor changed on, say, website number one or website number two or website number three. It should have a same impact factor whether displayed on n number of websites. And at the end, see, a particular journal, if it is not a fake one, it remains as it is on n number of websites, and hence the reviewers will not change. The policies might get overlap here and there, but it will work according to a proper standard, which will be taking care of your manuscript ID and which will be reflected in their
What was happening there? But we are really looking for the
language
teacher.
and content. Once
We
you
are really
read
looking for
their
the
policies,
content.
once you read their introduction, or once you read that particular heading about,
அவனை வர மாட்டேங்கிறான்.
in the particular heading home, you will get to know whether it is a camouflage or whether it is an attracting journal or whether it is a proper contented journal that is looking for a proper research work. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Amazing. Any other questions?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am, you are audible. Yeah, ma'am.
Hello. Sir, I'm from Arunachal Pradesh, SFS College. Sir, I just wanted to know that DOAJ indexing, is it really means authentic? Means can we rely on that if we put our this journal, this material research paper there?
It is not strictly defined, ma'am.
Hello.
If it is listed in DOAJ, then it is very good. Apart from that, I had just mentioned that if a journal is a good one and it is not a fake one, you go through that content and the thinking that is presented for an author or a researcher by that particular journal on their website. Once you read them line by line, the idea of that attraction and the idea of that submitting a proper research work will be reflected in their writing. So it is why that is why it is said that go through a careful research, read them. Once you have read their content and you become clear of their policies, you become clear of their, say, idea of attachment to an author, it becomes a whole soul process, and this is what a researcher want. So if a journal is listed in DOAJ or it is not listed in DOAJ, I would say that it is a matter of chance that it has not been listed, and if it is listed, it is a good one. That is it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And it was really a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Dear participants, now still the group is open for discussion. We are having 3 more minutes for the discussion. So if you want to ask your doubts, appreciations, suggestions, you're most welcome. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sir. I just wanted to really appreciate the effort which all of the organizers have put, and we are really very thankful because sitting here in this interior and we are getting the benefit of this wonderful session. So thank you so much, really.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So thank you so much, sir. Without taking
Thank
much
you. Take
time,
care and God bless.
yeah, let me directly give the hand over the session to Shivgami ma'am to give vote of thanks. அவன் எங்க? Good evening, Shivgami ma'am. Kindly unmute. மேம் சொல்லுங்க மேடம். ஏன் மேடம்? Logged on. Where are you, ma'am, now? Wait a minute, ma'am. Shivagami, ma'am, right? I have added as a co-host. Now you can unmute, I think so. Now you can, right? I made as a co-host, ma'am. Yeah, please. Now working, ma'am. What you do now, ma'am? Allow கொடுங்க மேடம். அலோவ் கொடுத்தீங்க எல்லாத்துக்கும். இப்போ வந்துச்சா? Okay, then I will do. Okay. Okay. So, good evening, dear participants. This is a technical issue from Shivgami ma'am side. Thank you so much, Abhishek sir, for accepting my invitation. Let me thank God Almighty,
It's,
who is the creator of heaven
thank you.
and
Thank you,
earth,
sir.
giving
Abhishek,
you
sir.
strength and courage to go with the
Thank
successful
you, sir.
program. And sincerely, I have to thank our principal, Reverend Dr. Father Roy, and our vice principal, Father Jijo, Father, and all our faculty members, HODs from the department of various departments, and all the researchal members and core committees, as well as the technical team, Jaidev and Gautam team, followed by all the people who are the part of this event from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And actually, the people, more than 700 people have been registered for this event, and 100 people are in what is that? Google Meet, as well as remaining people, more than 250 people are participating in YouTube Live. So, this really thank you everyone. Sincerely, once again, thanking Abhishek sir for accepting my invitation without any hesitations. I just dropped a message in the group. He voluntarily came to my personal window and asked me, sir, let me speak, sir. I will give you all the informations. Sir, really, sir, it's not for just giving a face advertisement or a fake advertisement. Really, even as a professor, I came to about various things like how to identify, because even though we are from researchal department, and now today I learned a lot regarding how to identify these kind of fake journals, as well as how to go with this kind of people, and how to where to publish all our original papers, because nowadays as per the UGC rules and regulations, We are supposed to have UGC Catalyst publication, Scopus publication as well as Web of Science. So now everywhere, as you have given very clearly about various things like how people are doing scam in the name of publication. So we came about various things. Abhishek says surely in future, surely if time permits, I will call you personally. Like we will have one more session on hands to hands session, like how to identify these kind of clone journals in
Anytime, sir.
yes sir, yes,
Anytime.
in the hands-on session. And sincerely
Anytime,
thanking
sir.
all the participants, faculty members, elders and youngers, everyone. Thank you so much for being the part of this event. Now let me send you the uh, feedback form in chat box, as well as we will send you the feedback form in Google YouTube live also. So once completing your feedback form, you'll be getting your certificate immediately. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you, everyone.
thank you. க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடு, லைவை ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிடு. லைவை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடுறா.
லிங்க் போடாம எப்படி?
Yes, we will send you the link in 2 minutes, please. Dear participants, very good evening, and we have given the feedback link, feedback form, the chat box. Kindly do the needful accordingly, and you can get your certificates by today itself. குரூப்ல போட்டு எடுத்துக்கோ, மீட்டிங்ல போட்டுருக்கேன்.
இந்த வாட்ஸ்அப் இல்லை. ஸோ நீங்கள் இதுக்கு போயிட்டு லைவ்ல சேட் போடுங்க. யூடியூப் ஓப்பன் பண்ணி லைவ் சேட் போடுங்க. விஆர் மீடியா ஒர்க்கர்ஸ் ஓப்பனில் தான் இருக்கு சார்.
Yes. So now we have given feedback link in Google Meet as well as YouTube Live. So kindly do the needful accordingly. Thank you. Yes, Sanmati, you raise your hand. Yes, please. Those who have completed feedback form, you can leave the meeting. Thank you. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
PhD scholar Binnu Sopal. Susan Paul. Binnu Susan Paul. Sir, 80 watching dogs too. I'm 8% is battery. 7%.
YouTube close பண்ணிடுறேன்.
இதுல இருக்கு. இதுல இருக்கு.